Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 1st to the 15th, 2025 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It is linked in the description box below. Now, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to name everybody as I laid them down. So let me go through and just say we have the Hierophant, then we have the Ace of Wands, the 10 of Wands, Judgment, Temperance, the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, the Devil, the 8 of Cups, and the 9 of Swords. So this is an intensity. So just being aware of this is going to be important during this time. And the first half of November seems to be an intensity for us. So just an acknowledgement of it. I know you're going to sit there and be writing, I just want everything to be cozy and right and no more intensities. And I totally get it. At your heart, here is the Hierophant. This is power, this is authority, this is success, this is determination, and this is focus. The Hierophant is representative of the Pope in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And so what you're going to see is that there's a connection with you to spirit. And what you are also going to see is that there's a top-down structure. Now, you could be blowing up that top-down structure. You could be like, nope, that doesn't work for me. But you will find other top-down structures. You will find other structures that are already in place that work for you. This isn't about reinventing the wheel. This is about making the wheel work for you in ways that you hadn't imagined it before. You know, when we think of the invention of the wheel, we're like, well, of course, it's always been there. But it hasn't. And then I think it was first made out of stone, or if it was first made out of wood. And then it took a really long time for people to realize, oh my gosh, you can make this out of stone, or you can make this out of wood. So the invention and the innovation, it took time. And what you're going to see here is that you're looking at things and you're saying, you know what? I'm not wasting my time doing this. I'm not wasting my time doing that. Look at this, look at this. And there's this sense of like, why can't I incorporate that into my life, into what I want, into where I'm going? So there's a sense of seeking that is around you. You've been seeking quite a bit. You've been diving deeper into texts, into literature, into spirituality, into whatever you find inspiration from. You've been diving deeper into it. And what you're going to see is that you're kind of making a tapestry of understanding for which you want to move forward with what you're going after. And it brings us then to the challenge of the Ace of Wands. And this is a gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. So when the challenge of the Ace of Wands comes forward, there is a sense of like, how do I show my passion? You know, how do I embrace my fire, my tenacity? How do I stand in this power? And also, how do I even take this? Because we don't have any court cards with the wands here saying, oh, I take this wand, I take this passion, I take this fire, and I move forward with it. You know, also water can put out fire, but also water can be boiled by fire. So we can have a tendency to either want to extinguish the passion that we're feeling because it's a little bit too overwhelming, or we want it to boil, we want it to become even more and keep on going. You know, and keep on moving with it. And then we use it up a little bit too quickly. So just being aware of this, that we're saying, okay, what is the passion that I have? How is it that I want to move forward? Meaning, like, what sparks your fancy right now? What are you excited about? And how does that connect to where it is that you want to be? Also, what is it that you needed to release that was keeping you from joy, bliss, and inspiration? It can be, you know, we need to change our diet because the foods that we're taking in can be just like wearing our body and keeping us from being inspired. It can be people, it can be jobs, it can be a whole bunch of things that are just wearing us down. And so we change what we can, and sometimes we can't change other things, and that is perfectly okay. It's not that season for it. And that is also powerful to know. At the root of us, we're so tired of carrying everything for everyone, Scorpio, that you are going to see that you're letting certain things go. Also, you're saying, you know, why am I carrying this for a rainy day? You know, let's celebrate now. Let's have the bonfire. Let's, dance and sing and let the joy in. You've come to a conclusion when it comes to the wands, when it comes to the fire, the passion, and the power that you are embracing. And you've learned so much because you have carried so much, because you have, held it together, or maybe carried the loads for other people and held it together when others have fallen apart. And now you're looking at things and saying, okay, what is it that I desire for me? And where is it that I desire being? And it moves us then to judgment. It moves us then to the energy that is now leaving us. And the judgment has come, right? We have judged ourselves. Other people have judged us. We have looked at things. We have been overwhelmed, but also we have felt locked away. We have felt like we have been kept from our true purpose here on this earthly plane, from what it is that we really want and desire and what we're looking for. And so with judgment, with this leaving, it's like we've stopped judging ourselves and we've come out to embrace the judgment of the angels, to embrace the connection with spirit, to open up the doors to something greater than we had imagined that we could have. And as we do so, we're going to see that we're answering our soul's call. We're answering a deeper call that has been within us, that, ignoring it made us feel miserable, made us feel overwhelmed. And it brings us then to Temperance. Now, Temperance is Sagittarius energy. You'll be born on the cusp with Sagittarius. Is the time frame of November 22nd to December 21st. So if you have it in your chart, if you're born on the cusp, it's going to come through very powerfully. If you have Sagittarius in your life, they're going to come through very powerfully in the role of strength. But this is also a sense of having your strength come through balance. Temperance is about harmony, balance. It's also about truth. You're finding your greatest guidance and wisdom in your truth. What is true for you? What is it that you desire? What is it that you want? What is it that you're looking for? Temperance is balance. Temperance is harmony. Temperance is insight. And that is where you're moving towards, this harmony of balance and insight. And Scorpio can feel overwhelming because people don't tend to see things the same way that you see things, and that is perfectly okay. And you're starting to learn that that is perfectly okay. You might have come to this realization a while ago, but we can lose it along the way. Believe me, I know that we can sit there and then all of a sudden just want to fit into a certain group or a certain way of being. And we just deny our souls and ourselves for whatever reason. And now there is a sense of like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm letting myself shine. I'm balancing my inner and my outer world. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is the person pouring the cup. And I believe it's a gold chalice and a silver chalice, the inner world and the outer world coming together. And there is a harmony that's coming forward. During this time, your greatest strength is going to be to say the truth, not to others. You don't have to walk around and saying things, to others that should be obvious or that they're just not willing to hear or see, or they see things differently than you. You can let them find their own path. But for you, say the truth to you. What do you truly want? Where do you truly want to be? What is the truth about the situation? How does your body truly feel? And as you do so, you step into the 9 of Wands. You're so tired of endless battling. You're so tired of the chaos. And you could be having, your body will let you know, right? You can be having headaches, your shoulders can hurt, you can have lower back problems where like you're kind of like crooked. So here, if you physically can, stand up straight. That is going to be really important, okay? Standing up straight and filling your lungs. Embracing your voice. And as you do so, you're going to see not that, wow, that was so hard. You're going to start to change the narrative of look how far I've come and look at what I've done. Look at what I've come through, the battles that I have come through. When people fight in real battles, right? They get medals. They get medals and of course, they get PTSD and all this stuff from it. But we can also get that from life, except we don't get medals for it. We don't get medals for going through the really hard times. And we should. We should give ourselves those medals and say, I'm so proud of you for still being here. I'm so proud of you for traversing this chaos, because as you do so, the advice is the Queen of Pentacles, success, prosperity, abundance, but planting the seeds and nurturing towards what you love, towards what you want, and towards a bigger picture of what it is that you're working towards. This is a time of nurturing yourself, of nurturing what you desire. And I know some of you are like, I'm so tired of nurturing. It's not carrying everything for everyone. That's going to be a really hard lesson during this time, Scorpio. It's not that you carry everything for everyone. It is that you nurture the seeds that you are planting for yourself and the dreams that you have within your life. Because you're going to find that you're coming to a place where you're balancing, where you're calling out what is out of balance. You're calling out the chaos and you're finding your harmony. You're embracing your balance. You're also going to have somebody who is kind of like older and wiser, or just a wise soul that helps you embrace this balance, embrace this understanding, look at this insight. And as you do so, there's a sense of like, oh, I've gotten my footing again. And it brings us to the devil. Now, this is Capricorn energy. Time frame is December 22nd to January 19th. Sagittarius time frame goes into Capricorn time frame. So being aware of that is going to be really, really important, because we're in Scorpio time frame, right? And what we're going to see is that as we move from the time frame that is us into Sagittarius and then into Capricorn, this is going to be more of a time of strength for us. The Sagittarius time frame, November 22nd to December 21st. The Capricorn time frame of December 22nd to January 19th is going to also be a time of hopes and of fears. So with the devil coming forward, here it is, the horned one, you are going to be looking at the chaoses of the world. Now, it can be finding beauty within chaos. Not everything can be ordered. Not everything can be just so. And that's going to be a really important thing to see and say for yourself. Within your heart, your soul, yourself as well, there's also the fear of the chaos taking over. This can be addictions, this can be doubts, this can be fears. There is a sense of chaos taking over. And we don't want that. So during this time, we're looking at the chaos of existence, right? Just kind of like how things are random and overwhelming. And it's, in a sense, finding peace within chaos. Not everything has to be controlled. And not everything is quite as people like it to seem. And you're finding harmony within yourself, for yourself, as you're moving forward towards so much more. And there could be hope and fear. There is hope and fear around this energy, but there's fear around the chaos, right? And what Spirit is saying, it's like looking at a wild garden. You can look at things and say, oh, this wildflower garden is just chaotic. And some places have people plant wildflower gardens that are indigenous flowers to the area to help with bees and butterflies, and they look chaotic. They look like, oh my gosh, what did you just do? Like, these are all just weeds, and yet they are beautiful to the world. And so here it doesn't, and they're well taken care of. And so here it doesn't mean that it has to be, kind of like manicured within an inch of its life, right? Big gardens of Versailles, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It is letting things be a little bit more wild. And as long as you move forward in love and in kindness, as long as you walk gently on this earth and you do no harm, you let yourself step into your power. You let yourself see yourself. And it's even the bit of chaos within us, which we can sometimes call the shadow itself, that we're like, oh no, we can't possibly let this come forward. And Spirit's saying, it is okay. It moves you then to an ending. Now, this can be an ending as severe as it's divorce for some. It is. For some, Scorpio, it's like, this is an end and I'm walking away. It can be changing jobs. It can be, leaving a relationship. It can be moving. It's like, it's a big end and it's a little bit bittersweet. For others, it is, I choose me and I am going on a journey for me, maybe for the first time. And I have to walk away from what no longer fits. I'm no longer in the cage of the 10 of Swords. This is also overkill, like overthinking, overanalyzing. So with the 10 of Swords, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is a person with 10 swords stabbed in their back. Here, it is a cage around you, and you're in the water, right? The emotions of it all, and you're holding on. And there is nothing left except the will that says, hold on. Part of a Kipling poem, If, which is one of my favorites. Here, you're pulling yourself forward. You're freeing yourself from the cage, and you're freeing yourself from the biting cold of the emotions, of what has taken over. And you're going to find that you've come to a completion of a cycle when it comes to your mind, when it comes to your thoughts, when it comes to what it is that you want. These two tens, the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords, are the most intense of all the tens. The cycles that you have come to the conclusion of, even with Judgment, which is a 20, right? 10 plus 10, what you're going to find is that you've come to these conclusions. Passion-wise, okay, with the fire of existence, and mentally, they have been hard won, and you are stepping forward in a way that you hadn't anticipated. Don't let fear hold you back. This reading finds you when you kind of thought of giving up, or when you were just like, can I actually even get there? And the answer is yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. It moves us then to the chakra energy, and you are angels and spirit guides. And you're going to see something big happening around Capricorn timeframe that brings up fear, but also brings a way forward that you're like, oh my gosh, yes. Do not let the fear override, and do not fall into like the coping mechanisms, the harmful coping mechanisms that fear can bring within us. It moves us then to rejoice. I love that. Rejoice. We have the chakra energy, angels, and spirit guides. Show them clearly. Guide this reading. Relationships. This is the sacral chakra. It's connecting with your relationships. It's giving voice to what you love and who you love, and also yourself. I always see these trees like lungs, even though their faces kissing. It's like I'm giving voice to what I love. This is the sacral chakra, creative energy, sensual energy. It moves us then to the energy to be mindful of, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The King of Swords. Be mindful of somebody who uses language to hurt you. I guess everybody uses language to hurt you, but who is very cold and cruel with their words. Okay, we ourselves can be cold and cruel with our words, like in this kind of sense of like, this has hurt me so much, I'm going to be just like this person who has caused me so much pain, because like that's like as nasty as I can imagine being. So just be aware of that. With the King of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, this is somebody who can just be biting with their words. And it's like, dude, what the heck? So being aware of that is going to be super important. And also very logical. So it's going to be very hard to argue with them, because they have like all these facts, and it's like, okay, if you look at it that way, but you'll have somebody else come in who can also be a King of Swords person. Like seriously, very logical, very factual, and be like, yeah, but you didn't look at all of this. So just be aware, like you can make this the stats say whatever you want them to say, kind of thing. It moves us then to adventure. And that's what the Eight of Cups has been telling us. Subconsciously, you're longing for an adventure, Scorpio. Subconscious chakra message is truth. This is the throat chakra. So very strong energy around your thyroid. Humming is going to be really big, like really helpful for you during this time. Embrace your truth. That's what Temperance said. That's your strength. Embrace what is true for you. Embrace what you truly want. As you do so, the subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Princess of Pentacles, which has been coming up a lot. It's somebody this is the Page of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It's somebody who's very careless with money, who's somebody who can spend too much, but also really equates like power with labels, and like you have to be able to see that I am successful. And we all have a bit of that in us, right? We all kind of want to have that thing, that whatever is important to us, that thing that people can be like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. And we're like, yeah, I have it. Yeah, that's great for me. So being aware of that can come out subconsciously during this time. Like, do I really want it? Or am I just having it because somebody else wants it and I can have it? It moves us then to the subconscious tarot message, and that is the Lovers. This is Gemini energy, time frame May 21st to June 20th. It is embracing your heart and your love. It is being blessed by the angels as you move forward in the balance of the sacred feminine, sacred masculine. And as the feminine embraces the masculine, and as the masculine embraces the feminine, we find a harmony within ourselves we didn't know we were missing. It's also time to truly embrace what we love and find that balance between the chaos of the devil and the kind of the rapture of love. And we're going to find that. And we see that very clearly, especially with Scorpio energy. We are very aware of the duality of things. And so embracing that, seeing that, understanding that is going to bring new knowledge, new wisdom to us in a way that can be a little bit surprising, overwhelming, but in a way that's going to be very like, oh, that's it. Okay. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Bye.